In this video I'm going to be showing you a method similar to latch hook for adding fur to the surface of crochet. Though identical, I will be showing you how to do it on both a piece worked back and forth and a piece worked in the round. I'll begin with the piece worked in the round. To start, you'll want a number of lengths of yarn about 5 to 6 inches long, depending on how long you want the fur to be. Depending on your pattern, you may use 2 lengths of yarn at a time. However, in this case, I will be showing you with only one piece. Working with 2 is identical to working with 1. Fold the piece of yarn in half over your crochet hook. Use a finger to anchor the yarn so that it doesn't slip or slide as you're working. Now find the stitch that you're going to be attaching the yarn to. When in doubt, start from the middle of your piece and work outwards. If you start from the outwards, it's going to get real messy real fast. With your yarn still anchored with your finger, insert your hook into the stitch you're going to be attaching the yarn to. Now take your yarn around the back of your hook and pull it into a yarn under. Make sure you're continuing to anchor the yarn with your finger or it's going to be real difficult. Pull the now 2 loops from your yarn under through the stitch. Pull them out. And now pull those same 2 loops through the loop that was originally formed when you folded the yarn in half over your hook. And then pull it all the way out. Then finally pull it nice and tight to make it secure. You've now finished adding 1 length of yarn to your fabric. Remember to add the lengths of yarn in rows or rounds as you work from the inside to the outside. Now we'll move on to the piece that's worked back and forth. Like before, you'll take a length of yarn and fold it in half over your crochet hook. Now find the stitch that you're going to attach your yarn to. With pieces that are worked back and forth, you're going to want to add your yarn row by row from one side to the other. In this example, however, I will be inserting the yarn into the middle of the fabric just so it's easier to see. Using your finger to anchor the yarn like before, insert your hook into the stitch you're attaching the length of yarn to. Bring the yarn around the back of your hook and into a yarn under. Pull the loops from the yarn under through the stitch, and then pull it through the loop formed when you folded the yarn in half over your hook. Pull it out completely and now pull it nice and tight to make it secure. You've now added a length of yarn to a piece that was worked back and forth. One thing to be aware of if you're going to be brushing out the yarn with a pet slicker brush is that you should avoid waiting until the end to do so. If you wait until the end, you're going to have a harder time overall brushing out the yarn. Instead, after you've attached 10 or 20 pieces of yarn to your work, take the time to brush out that one section before moving on and adding more pieces of yarn. Not only will that make your life easier, but it will also make it so that your fur is evenly and smoothly brushed out.